Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is Getting to Know You, an Owners Club exclusive podcast. Real quick, reach down, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, leave a comment. Today we have Susan Smiley. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Kathie. Good
Hi.
morning.
Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Excited to learn about you and your business. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Susan Smiley?
I'm a single mom. I've been working my whole life since I was 13. I recently left Southern California after 28 years there, two different careers there, and raising my child. Now I'm based in Boulder, Colorado. My daughter started college last year. That was a massive life change. I'm now transitioning to my next season of life, you might say, which I've got lots of big plans and things I've been working on. Because in moving, I also gained the bandwidth to sort of do more things than I was able to when I was raising my kid. But more about me is I grew up in suburban Chicago. Honestly, very troubled childhood, very broken family, a lot of mental illness in my family. I essentially raised myself and put myself through college at University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. I became emancipated when I was 17. I'd say my very difficult childhood led me on a lifelong quest of what is wellness, what is mental health, what is family, what is connection, and what are the things needed to live a healthy, quote unquote, normal life, you might say. And so all my career pursuits, and I've had 3 to 4 careers now, because I've had to pivot a few times, have really been in pursuit of some deep questions, deep spiritual questions, you might say, yet also doing practical things and trying to be of service and helpful to people all along the way.
Can you expand a little bit on your wellness, what that looks like for you? Do you focus on nutrition? Is it more getting out in the sun? What does that look like for you?
A lot of things, to be honest. And I think nutrition is fundamental. Food is medicine. There's no question. Um, I I've gone more and more toward root causes of illnesses, both physical and mental illnesses. So yeah, nutrition is huge and diet is huge, but also exercising. One thing that was very difficult for me living in LA, people have a false sense of what Los Angeles is like. Oh, you're close to the ocean and mountains. And in fact, it's very full of cement everywhere, and there's very little park space. And I found it very constrictive in terms of access to nature. And now that I'm in Colorado, I already feel a lot healthier. So I think access to nature is really important. Again, it's fundamental, having time amongst trees and plants and animals.
So tell me about your real estate adventure. I'd love to hear how you got into real estate. What brought you to Owners Club?
About 2.5 years ago, I was in a major crisis, an existential crisis, you might say, but it was prompted by some very troubling things within my family, which are triggers. And I'm at an age where I'm like, I'm not going on like this. Something major has to change. Things are not working. My life is not working. I'm going to go down with a ship if I don't make some major shifts myself. I can't do it for other people. I can't convince other people to be different. And so I need to make some shifts for my health. It was, deep talks with self. What's got to change? Now, I did have a super successful neurotherapy practice in Beverly Hills, and my daughter was finishing up high school, but I had wanted to leave my life in LA for a long time. But when you're somewhere for a long time, you're very intertwined in your life there in all facets, professionally, personally, what have you. So it was about how I was going to make those changes. So one of the things was I want to learn about real estate investing. I had no idea what that encompassed. Of course, it's this massive umbrella of different niches within the field, just like a lot of fields. But I think real estate investing is particularly ginormous in terms of the umbrella of possibilities of facets of it you can be in. I didn't even know that going into it, but I was eager to learn. And when I throw myself into whatever subject. I dive in whole hog. So I just started studying and taking the classes and joining mentorships and being on Zooms and talking to people. For me, it's been a series of iterations. Do you want to do fix and flips? And no, that's not for me. Are you going to do private money lending? Well, maybe. Do you want to get into multifamily, et cetera, et cetera? So I think there's a lot of people actually getting into this field. They're doing the same thing. That what they call the shiny object syndrome. Oh, I want to do it all. And in fact, you can't do it all, nor should you. But it took me at least a year to realize that. And it was a process of elimination. So bringing us to today, I have mostly to date done many passive investments, been a private money lender and invested in other people's multifamily assets. And it's been a good way to learn, to be honest, being intimate in the deal, seeing how things are done. I've been partnered with super experienced people and not experienced people. And I've had a couple deals go south and others go very well. So that's also been a real learning curve. But I joined Owners Club because I'm eager to get more active, to be the owner myself of real estate holdings. Actually, I don't mean myself, but in partnership with other people. But I do think how I've gone about it has been necessary for me to gain insight in the areas that are of interest to me.
What is your current business model? What are you working on today?
They're kind of two separate tracks. I'm very interested in investing in multifamily in the Midwest. I was raised in the Midwest. I know it very well. Several states around Lake Michigan are my stomping ground, and I really like the price points there. I think the Midwest is going to continue to grow as other areas of the coasts become cost prohibitive. And it's an area that really makes sense for me and I'm super comfortable with. And I've been doing a lot of studying of the numbers, a lot of underwriting in different markets. And so that's one facet. The other facet that's of deep interest and maybe in some ways more soul fulfilling is co-living for adult populations with mental health and cognitive challenges, such as serious mental illnesses, autism. And I'm talking about high functioning adults, not adults that need institutionalization, but ones whom really would benefit living in a community model with some supports, but don't need lots of supports, don't have either the executive functioning or the bandwidth to go find their own place, nor should they. And this is something I'm passionate about. It comes from my experience with my mother, who suffered from schizophrenia my entire life and was homeless many times. We searched for housing for her, and we finally found her what they called at the time a group home for other adults with serious mental illnesses that were being served by Medicaid or family support or what have you. But there's a couple million of these folks, and housing is more and more, as you probably know, dire. And I don't see it getting better unless people like us step up to create some supportive housing opportunities.
So you're looking for co-living in the Midwest?
Co-living anywhere, actually. The multifamily, which is a different facet of real interest of mine, just as asset holding. But the co-living, I'll be honest, I want to start co-living in Colorado just because I live here and I want to be close to my first homes to really be hands-on with building the model myself. Obviously, I've learned so much from colleagues that have become expert at it. But once I really am hands-on and know my numbers, then I would love to expand to other parts.
I think that's really wise. Heard of people going into the business model and being the operator for the first 6 months to get a fundamental understanding of every aspect of that business. And then they bring in an operator to take their place. They train them how you want it to be run. And then you get to step back and kind of buy back your time. It sounds like that's your strategy, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's really wise.
You're exactly right. And also that for me was a learning, because just realizing that's necessary and that's just the kind of smart way to go about it. Right. So that took some time too to sink in. But yeah, that's exactly what I have in mind.
That is a very heartfelt mission. that is close to your heart for personal reasons. I know you're going to be greatly successful at that.
Thank you. I hope so. I'm comfortable with the people in the mental health field, the players and the social workers and county mental health systems. And I'm super comfortable working with them, talking with them. I've spent decades as a mental health advocate and interfacing with mental health workers at all levels. I feel like I can be a really effective bridge between those folks and the housing. What I too often see are people who are real estate investors don't understand that piece of it, and vice versa. Mental health care workers don't understand the housing piece of it. So this is an area that I feel like I can be a super effective bridge. And I hope to create a really effective model and one that can be replicated all over the nation in partnership, of course, and meet the right folks from the right facets to partner with. So that's my bigger vision.
Are there public offerings like programs that would fit the bill for maybe some funding, some grant funding, or if they're lacking this resource in a certain populace of Colorado, is that an opportunity for you to pair with social services or the county or city, whoever orchestrates that, and get funding for these co-living homes? Because it's going to fit that niche of offering something that they don't have already that they want to pour into from a government level.
Chances are there is funding. Now, in my experience, it's going to vary a great deal from county to county or city to city. So very individualized because, nationwide counties have drastically different budgets. And as services which are getting cut, going to the state and then trickling down to counties in each state vary widely in terms of what's available. But to your point, I have had a lot of experience in a previous career in raising grant money and fundraising. I know I do it well. And I look forward to getting back to it with this goal. There's a lot of people out there with deep pockets that are passionate about this topic that's touched them personally, family member, loved one, what have you, or just knowing the need out there and being in a fiscal position to help where it's greatly needed. And that's an area that I look forward to ramping up, that I've had a lot of success with in the past.
So what do you need right now in your business? If someone wanted to bring value to you, what does that look like?
What I need is the right partnerships. Just like finding the right partner in life, it's a lot of dating until you find the person or people you click with. And so I feel like I've been dating a lot and met so many incredible people, yet I'm still looking for the partnerships where there's alignment on all levels. And I'm not even talking my dreams yet, but building the first 1, 2, 3 co-living homes or acquiring that first multifamily in the Midwest, because so many things have to align with partnership. The location, where is it you want to be working? What are the assets you want to be acquiring? And do you have complementary skill sets? Who knows, I might have already met that person or people and we just don't know each other well enough, but it's a lot of dating. I'll take any suggestions you have. I'm so grateful to be doing this podcast with you and getting that word out too. I really appreciate it, Kathie.
Absolutely. It's just tapping into the right networks. So if you're listening, if you're watching this, please reach out to Susan, offer a coffee date. See if you guys can have a first date as partners and go get a cup of coffee and just have a conversation. One last thing, Susan, how do you like to be contacted?
Blink is good, or my email is highlandhomepartners, all lowercase one word, @gmail.com.
We will put that in the show notes below. So we'll add your Blink show notes below. You're on Instagram as well.
Susan_Smiley.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you.